down to part 3, the final part of this quad. I have mostly reassembled the back end and the midsection. So now we just got to get the camera waterproofed and touch up the antenna a little bit, and then we will be ready to go test it out. Alright, so what you want to do when it comes to the cameras, you actually want to take, some of them have these side plates, some of them don't. What we're going to do is we're going to take these plates off real quick on either side. Oh, and one other little tidbit you might want to know about these cameras. Sometimes if you're not paying attention, like I already know where this goes as far as you know, how to mount it. But my first time ever waterproofing and taking my camera apart, I wasn't paying attention, and I put it in, when I reinstalled it, I put it in backward or upside down, and I put my goggles on and I was like, what the crap, what is going on? So if you need to, my recommendation would be, before you take it off of the frame, put like a little piece of tape or just something that will mark top from bottom, so that when you reinstall it, you won't have the issue I had the first time I tried it. Again, that's if you're a beginner. Obviously, if you guys have been building your quads, you know what you're doing with it already, so ignore that statement. All right, now that we got that off, so what you're gonna do is, you can see here that there's a seam that goes all the way around the camera. That seam's all the way there, and then at the bottom of the camera, you can see this, the bottom of the camera is where the cable goes in. So we're gonna make sure we pack that full of waterproofing. We're gonna cover the seam, and then on top of that, right here, let me zoom in on this a little bit. Right here in this area, we're gonna also put waterproofing here, because we don't want any water getting behind the lens. Anytime you get water behind the lens, it's a pain in the butt. Take my word for it, it sucks, and it fogs up, and it eventually oxidizes, and it's just stupid. So zoom that back out a little bit. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're going to get our waterproofing, and as usual, squeeze a little out on our stick, like so. Okay. And then, very liberally, just going to dress this edge. A nice little coat on that seam, because you don't want any water leaking in that. Here and there. Oh yeah, just like that. Got a little gumball here, we can get rid of that. And also the screw holes where you screw that into. We are gonna wait to put anything in the screw hole, because if you seal it up before you put the screw in there and it dries, you'll never get the screw back in there. So don't do that until you're ready to put the screw back in. Okay, so that's done. Those two sides are done. See if we can get some in that bottom and let it dry. So right here, you just want to get it, just pack it in there. Use the end of your pick. And by the way, on part 1 of these series, you will find a link I put in the description for this kit from pyrodrones.com. And when I checked it, I think it turns out to be about $13 after shipping and whatnots, but it's like $10 for the kit. And the kit comes with a hand, like this stick, a toothpick, a plastic stick, and a brush. Some of you might love using that brush. I think it's just a messy mess and I wouldn't want to use it, but who knows. Some guys like that plastic white stick. It looks like this. Let's see here, I'll just grab the brush too. So there's the brush, and then there's this little plastic white stick. Some people really love this. It's, to me, just too bulky. And then this brush, I feel like it would be nice, but cleaning it off would be kind of stupid, because yeah, I don't think you're really going to get this stuff out of there unless you do it immediately after you put it on. So, all right, so that's good there. And again, you know, when it comes to like the antennas, I probably won't even put that on. I won't even film it, but basically you're just going to rub a little bit here in this joint, a little bit right there, a little bit right there, and then a little bit right there. And that's pretty much it. So, okay. So that's basically going to dry up. That's all there is to it. We have pretty much completed our waterproofing. Before I put the top cover back on, I'm going to go through and just double check everything, make sure there's nothing that peeled back or whatever that I need to touch up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is 3 parts of how to waterproof a quad. Again, it's going to vary. Your quads are going to be different shapes. They're going to be different sizes. You're going to have different guts, all kinds of things. So you just have to, you know, the general idea is you want to make sure all your circuitry, all your solder joints, your air unit, anything that has power going to it and can conduct electricity is needing to be waterproofed. And again, this turns into a rubber and it's non-conductive, so it will not conduct anything. Once water hits it, it repels it, and if water sits on it, like if you submerge this entire thing, it will not conduct electricity. So the electricity stays under that layer of rubber and doesn't go anywhere else. Another thing that I will mention, if for whatever reason you dive this into a pool of water and then you find that something's not right, do not reach into the water, pull the drone out, and then unplug the battery. By all means, do not do that. Because what happens is when you pull that out, see, being submerged, the electrical particles that are surrounding it underwater, basically all the water particles, H2O, you know, that stuff, science, unplug it under the water, everything will drop dead there. Because it's surrounded by it. It won't do anything else. It won't cause a short. Unplug your battery underwater. Do not pull it out of the water and then unplug it, because once you do that, you'll cause a short and you'll fry your boards. So that's your lesson. That's your lesson in water hazard safety, blah, blah, blah. Don't do it. But other than that, again, I hope this works for you. I hope finally it answers some questions. I took it slow. I didn't speed anything up. I know these videos are long and lengthy, but they kind of needed to be for some of you because some of you actually needed to see the process of what needed to be covered. And I didn't speed up anything. You saw it as is. The only thing that you didn't see was the drying time. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing sealed up, put back together, and once that's done, we will take it outside. We will dump a butt ton of water on it, and you will see that it still runs. So that's it. So if this was this series and these videos and blah, 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 and all that and this and the other and good stuff and whatever, if it has helped you, then help me help you by continuing to support me. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, pass it along to those who are also trying to waterproof stuff. and let's just help keep this thing going so I can keep doing things that are like this that will help you guys more in other areas. And until then, like I always say, fly frosty.
Nine.